let's start. Let's just start with like the jump-ins. Um, so when part of the difficulty in knowing what to do after the jump in is to number one have a plan and number
Mm.
two build that plan into your muscle memory.
Mm-hmm.
So um, what we're going to do is set input attack data and key display to on, and then we're going to set guard to first attack. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna set guard to first attack only, stun to no stun, and then normal recovery. Um,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Have you used the guard recovery actions before?
Yes.
Okay, great. So we're gonna go back to dummy settings, and then for record guard recovery actions, we're going to use recording slot 1, and we're just going
Mm-hmm.
to mash on light punch. And if it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't say reversal, then you have to re-record.
Okay. No, it doesn't say reverse. Where is that? Where it has to say reversal in
Okay, here. Okay, so you can either,
session.
so you could set interval setting and guard, interval setting to 1 and guard
Yeah.
slowdown to on, and then go
Uh-huh.
recording slot 1, and then you see right there,
Ah, okay.
yeah.
Okay, okay. Yeah, got
Okay,
it.
got it? Okay, great.
Yeah.
So now we're going to go to set guard recovery actions and then turn slot 1 to on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Yep.
now he should he should block the first attack and
Mm-hmm.
then do light punch.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So what we're going to do is essentially practice what we can do if after the opponent blocks our jump in. So as you mentioned, uh, if you're not going for the throw, you're not really quite sure what to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we could just practice the situation. So we're going to just do jumping medium kick because, that's probably you probably use jumping medium kick the most when you jump in.
Mm-hmm.
So just do the jumping medium kick, and then what you'll see is that when you, if you hit so what I like to do is crouching medium punch, or you could actually, there we go. Okay, so if you jump in um, deep enough, then what you'll
Mm-hmm.
find is when you hit crouching medium punch, even though you have guard recovery set to on, and he's only going to
Mm-hmm.
block the first hit,
Mm-hmm.
because the opponent is still in block stun,
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't have enough time to hit the standing light punch. So essentially what you're doing is
Mm-hmm.
called a true block string, because
Mm-hmm.
the only thing that he can do is would be like V reversal.
Mm-hmm.
But um, if you wait a moment and if you wait a moment when you land, then
Mm-hmm.
and then hit crouching medium punch, then what you'll find is that
Mm-hmm.
you score a counter hit because you left enough time between the jump in and him
Mm-hmm.
hitting the button for you for you to counter hit him. So
Yeah.
so go ahead and practice jumping in and try to hit him like on the chest,
Mm-hmm.
and then hit crouching medium punch as soon as you land. And if you if you did it properly, then um, he does the standing jab after the crouching medium punch,
Mm-hmm.
and you see two inputs on his side of the screen. So essentially he's hitting light punch twice. Once after he blocks the jump in, but nothing comes out because he's still in block stun. And then the second time after you do your crouching medium punch.
Yeah.
So,
and what can I use that for?
Okay, so I'm just trying to demonstrate to you like the idea of putting the opponent in enough block stun when you're jumping in. So do it so that or try it so that you can essentially prevent him from doing the jab until after your crouching medium punch.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
doing it.
Okay, so now wait just a moment before you hit crouching medium punch, so that way you score a counter hit. So you should be jumping in from the same distance with the same and trying to hit at the same part of the chest. You're just waiting a little bit longer, and then you should be able to score a counter hit. And then once you do that, I want you to wait even longer so that the dummy Ken scores a counter hit on you because you waited too long.
Yeah. Yeah, I see.
Okay. So
Yeah.
okay. So the reason why this is important is because it's important to know exactly what's going on, what you're kind of going for, and what's going on in every given situation. So like usually for players in like the silver area, after they get a jump in and the opponent blocks, they immediately go for the throw. And
Yeah.
what ends up happening is either the throw comes out or the opponent techs the throw, and then they're kind of back at square one. But then when they jump in again, they go for the same thing because they're not really quite sure what their options are. So what we're going to do now is set guard recovery action. We're going to go back to guard recovery actions, and then we're going to do slot 2, but this time we're going to mash throw. So that way we have one of those as well. And then when we then go to set guard recovery actions, did it say reversal?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, so now go to set guard recovery actions.
Why does it have to say reversal?
Because if it doesn't say reversal, then what ends up happening is when you play the slot back, nothing happens.
Okay.
Yeah. So then go to set guard recovery actions, turn slot 1 off, and then turn slot 2 on. So now when we make the dummy Ken block something, he'll try to reversal throw.
Good.
Right?
Yep.
Okay. So now we can do the same. We could do the same exercise with crouching medium punch with the same idea, right? So we're trying to jump in and then do crouching medium punch, or we're trying to jump in and then okay, here we go. Sorry. We're gonna jump in with medium kick and then try to throw, and then he should tech every time.
He's winning.
Right. So if he's winning, then what that means is that you probably did the throw too early because
Yeah, true. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. So when the opponent cannot be thrown if they're in hit stun or block stun. So when you jump in with medium kick or heavy kick, the deeper that you jump in or the lower on the body that you hit, the more block stun they're going to be in, which means that you're essentially throwing too early because they're still in block stun and you can't throw them. So in this instance, you have to actually slow it down.
Yeah.
Okay, so now when you jump in and you go for the throw, he should tack every time, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to assume that you jumped in the first time, you went for the throw, and they tacked. So
Mm-hmm.
now in the next time that you do it, you're going to assume, all right, well, last time I went for the throw, he's probably going to expect me to go for the throw again. So now we have to figure out a solution to him trying to tech. So now we can try a bunch of different buttons and see which one might work. So you'll see that because he's going for the
Mm-hmm.
throw, I can just wait a moment and then do crouching medium
Yeah.
punch. But if I do it too soon, then he'll still be in block stun, so the throw never comes out. So essentially, you had to wait just a moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's kind of similar to what we were doing before, where except instead of the standing jab, he's doing the throw. Okay, with me so
Yeah.
far? Okay,
Yes.
so now instead of going for the throw, instead of going for crouching medium punch,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna try a different move and see if that works. And this is gonna be his standing heavy punch, which is his crush counter. And the reason why we want to
Oh.
go for the
Yeah.
crush counter is because if we, oops, sorry, hold on, let me set my buttons real quick. Also, one thing to consider we didn't really talk about is when I try to use these two buttons for whatever is appropriate for the character.
Mm-hmm.
So like I would probably set V skill to this button, and then
Mm-hmm.
maybe I would set V trigger to this button, um,
Mm-hmm.
just because it makes it a little bit easier for me personally. Okay, so I'm gonna jump in. Oh, okay, actually, all right, there we go. Okay, so it also one of the other things I guess you weren't really doing is like is crush counter combos,
Mm-hmm.
and that's between Ken's crush counter and his V trigger. Like this is why Ken like these are the combos and the part of his game that you have to really understand to get the most out of Ken. Um,
Yeah.
so, but we're just gonna just try to start with just the crush counter. So you see how if you hit it kind of doesn't matter where you hit
Mm-hmm.
unless you hit Ken super low with the medium punch or with a
Mm-hmm.
medium kick, then you're basically going to hit the crush counter every time.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll see that if you hit higher, then
Mm-hmm.
the crush counter hits every time. But if you hit lower, um, oh no, I mean you have to hit like super low in order
Yeah.
for the crush counter not to work. Is it coming out?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So so we can go back to guard recovery actions and then set. I mean, basically, you could set them both to on and then try to like see which one, see if the timing is like any different for each because like throws come out in 5 frames, but standing light punch comes out in 4 frames. But what you'll find is that generally if you jump from the same distance and try to hit at the same height, the crush counter is going to connect every single time. So
Okay. Unless he, but if he keeps blocking, then I'm at minus, right? If I'm going for the crush counter.
correct. But
Okay.
we can look at the frame data just to see. But I think that he's only. I feel like he's only -2 after the.
I can check.
Oh, sorry,
So
he's
let's
-3.
see. Yeah, -3.
Yeah, but
So
it doesn't
both.
really. It doesn't really matter too much because most players in the silver level aren't going to be able to punish that in most instances. But it is true that he is minus, and that's something that we have to take into consideration.
Yeah.
Um,
No, it's fine. I mean, tomorrow I'm going to my dojo, so there will not be. There are rookie players that play 8 hours a day over there. They
right.
only play offline.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's it's okay if yeah, like in these instances, like most players will actually just do they'll probably just do the run after the crush counter. And what you can see is that it's totally not safe,
Yeah.
but when you're playing, depending on the level of player that you're playing,
Mm,
like it can still be pretty good. But you should know that
mm,
it's technically not safe, but because of the
yeah.
input, the 6.5 frames of input delay,
Mm,
um, it is harder to react to, but you can definitely train yourself to do it. But
mm,
the reason why I point this out is so that you understand you have a better understanding of what your options are after you get a jump in. And so
yeah.
you
Yeah.
what you'll find is that the the different buttons, the different jump in attacks have different amounts of frame advantage and block stun,
Mm-hmm,
with
mm-hmm,
heavies being having the most. So
mm-hmm,
like for example, if you jump in with heavy punch and
mm-hmm,
then go for the crush counter, like
mm-hmm.
he's still going to be in block stun and
Yeah.
it, it never works. So in this instance, you actually have to wait a moment, but you can't wait too long, otherwise you get thrown. But
Yeah.
if you do it too soon, then they're still in block stun and it doesn't
Yeah.
work. So then the what you'll find is that you'll hit players, especially when you're playing online, you'll hit these
Mm-hmm,
guys with a crush counter. But then the real
mm-hmm.
question is, well, what do you do after the crush counter?
Yeah.